All right, Vidar, what do you say? Should we get started?
I think it's about time, Andrea.
All right. So, purpose built, it means that really we have a very close relationship with our customers. We understand what shipping is. We have been in shipping for 30 years, and we develop services in four main pillars: cybersecurity, collaboration, that includes email and the inclusion of seafarers as a collaboration tool. We have internet management, which Vidar is particularly in charge, and that's the topic of the day, as well as data exchange, so data replication to exchange files between ship and shore. But the topic of the day is really internet management, and more specifically, how to tackle how to control internet once you make the big step of purchasing Starlink. So Vidar, Starlink, Starlink, Starlink. This is all we have heard for the last, I would say, 9-10 months, almost a year now. It's all new or almost new for everyone. But what is Starlink? Walk us through Starlink, what it is, what we have seen in the market, what have we learned so far?
Thank you, Andrea. What a time to work in the maritime industry. This is from Starlink.com. You can just go there. You can buy it. It's an order now button. It's been out there for a year, and we're hearing that this service is working really great. So when you click this order now button, if you want to try this out, you get a few plans you can choose from. And it's all built. It even says Starlink for Maritime on the web page. It's great speed. Adoption is taking off, and I know we already have hundreds of ships using our services together with Starlink. And if you go directly to Starlink or your favorite reseller, you can buy this service. And compared to buying a VSAT, you might notice there are nothing about CIR or MIR or anything like that on this page. This is an internet service that gives you a broad download and upload range speed. It's remarkable. We've even heard ships talking about 300 megabits of download speeds and the low latency. But the big thing about this is that it is the volume that is the key. So it's the 50 gigabyte package, 1 terabyte package, 5 terabyte package. That's what was deciding the price of the package. So this is sort of much more like when you're going out and buying a 5G subscription of internet.
Amazing. Vidar, I'm a little bit curious here about the adoption of Starlink among at least the guests that we have today. We talk to a lot of customers on a daily basis, and we know quite a bit about Starlink, and we're going to share as much as possible today just to kind of share with our guests what it is about and what we have learned so far. But one thing that I want to do right now is to really launch a very quick 10-second survey. I would like to ask our guests to answer real quick 3 very simple questions. How many of your ships use Starlink today? How many ships will have Starlink on board by the end of this year, 2024? And do you foresee LEO satellites, so Starlink and OneWeb and so on, replacing your current VSAT or fleet broadband in the short, medium term? I will leave literally 10 seconds to our guests to answer that question. I think you gave a very good introduction of the Starlink service, Vidar. And what I would like to ask you next is how do we see this new satellite service being implemented on board ships? So what have we seen so far by talking to our customers, and what is the kind of let's get a little bit more technical here. Let's show our customers what to expect once they click on that buy now button on the Starlink website. So I'm gonna close the survey now. I think we got quite a few answers. Thank you for answering. And Vidar, I will leave it back to you with the presentation.
Right. Okay. So what we're hearing from customers trying to use this is they need to put this system on the ship and put it into the network. So I just want to start off with the traditional kind of network diagram that we see on a lot of ships, where you have one or more satellite systems. You have some firewall, you have FortiGate or something like that. You might have something from your airtime provider, or you might be using Dualog network control to control the networks on your ship. And you have some business network, maybe you have a critical server network, maybe you even have an IoT network, and you might have a crew network with good segregation. So what then happens when you're getting the Starlink and you need to put this on board and install it on your ships? So just going to go quickly through the examples that we've seen. In the box from Starlink, you get everyone gets a Starlink Wi-Fi router, and that one connects straight to the Starlink and just opens up the Starlink connection. So we've given a recommendation from our side to put in a very secret SSID and key for this one, so that the crew cannot just find it and use the Starlink uncontrolled. Instead, we recommend connecting your Starlink to the network using an Ethernet adapter that you can get extra to the Starlink. So what we've seen is some people, some customers have to sort of just protect the rest of the network, connected their Starlink straight to the crew network. It's it looks very clean. It's like you have the crew. They can use Netflix and whatever they want on the Starlink, and the rest of the network is kind of like it's always been. The downside, though, being even though the crew will be very happy, you won't get the Starlink benefits in the business network. So more commonly, we see this kind of scenario. The conclusion is that you put the Starlink behind your firewall, just like any other satellite system. You connect the crew network and get the security features of whatever firewall you have, and you can also use the business network on the Starlink, and they're not unhappy in the business network anymore. So these are kind of this the common scenarios that we have worked out of from our customers. And
All right, thank you. Yeah, please.
yeah, that's your area. What do the customers say about this, Andrea?
Yeah, I mean, it's so this is a great overview. These are facts, really. It's not like opinions on what we recommend or what we feel like it's going to happen. This is facts. This is exactly what we have seen by working with dozens of customers that have approached us on how to implement Starlink on board their ships. So something that I also can share a little bit, Vidar, is by talking to customers. There are a lot of good things about Starlink, and I want to share a little bit about the good stuff. So obviously, maybe I'm stating the obvious here, but the bandwidth is high. I mean, and we are talking, as you mentioned, 100, 200, sometimes approaching the 300 megabits. And the cost is relatively low compared to what the maritime industry has been used to in the last 3 decades. Um, the commitment is fairly short. There is no more kind of 5-year commitment, and you buy the antenna, and that's more or less it. You're gonna start paying a monthly fee and monthly subscription, and that's about it. The deployment is very easy. Customers tell me that as soon as the Starlink, the magic Starlink box, the cardboard gets on board, the crew they're dropping everything they're doing, and all they're gonna do from that moment onward is to install that antenna and make sure that it works. So there is no need to send a technician, to fly in a technician. 99% of the times, what we have heard is that the crew can take care of the installations very easily. Happy crew means higher retention. So that is a good tool to retain the good crew and lowering the cost of replacing and too big kind of replacement of personnel. With that kind of bandwidth, cloud-based services suddenly come into play very quick. So it's not, it's no more local servers and so on. People are moving towards cloud services, and then obviously video conferences and more collaboration comes in very quick as soon as the bandwidth is available. What is unexpected here? What are the things that maybe customers didn't exactly expect because everything looks very, very good when you have 200 megabits on board? Well, first of all, a lot of internet, a lot of bandwidth means also a lot of exposure. So there is much more exposure to cyber risks. So customers have to keep in mind that protection, cybersecurity, becomes extremely relevant at this point. Starlink is right now is really a kind of we call it a best effort approach, meaning that there is no SLA, there is no CIR, there is no committed kind of speed. Starlink offers a service, and if they have a downtime, that's about it. There is no commitment, so you could end up obviously having no internet for a few hours or days. The coverage is not global yet, and we don't foresee being global anytime soon. There are countries that do not accept, do not give Starlink coverage, and 1 terabyte is. I'm writing there that 1 terabyte is a lot, but when you think of it with a VSAT mindset, but it's 1 terabyte becomes very, very little when you have very high speed. So 24 hours of Netflix will wipe out the terabyte. So that's all it takes. And as soon as you reach the 1 terabyte, then the top-up price will be $2.50 per gigabyte. And I can tell you that gigabytes will pile up very quick once you have a very high speed. So this is what we have heard, Vidar, from customers. And you know, what can we do to address these challenges, or what have we done? What have we done for the last 10 years, and why does it become extremely relevant now that Starlink is suddenly available for many of our customers?
Sure, Andre, Dualog can obviously help with a lot of these, especially the cyber risks and the volume. But in this webinar, I'll focus on the how to deal with the 1 terabyte. And I'll present the Dualog Quota solution that we have, as you mentioned, been developing for many, many years already. It's built to manage and control crew internet usage. Back in the days, it was used for fair usage, but now it is a perfect tool to control the volume of the Starlink subscription. It is compatible with Starlink. I'll say a few words more about that. And it basically allows you to allocate a volume quota to the crew. It's built so that the captains don't have to do that much. Shore IT doesn't have to do that much, but you can assign some tasks to the captain. For instance, to approve people before they are allowed to use their quota, depending on how much control you want to apply. And it comes with self-service, maritime features like the slop chat support, and it's all built around the user. So if you have one device or many devices, you get the same quota. And overall, we try to promote a healthy work-life balance, both using volume, but also with the option of using time quotas. And since the launch of Starlink, we have also, both in Dualog Quota, but in every single Dualog service, added support for Starlink. So it's an equipment type that you can use in all our services. So it's straightforward to configure in any of the Dualog services. So what I'm going to sort of demonstrate and build a little practical example of is this scenario here that I mentioned earlier. You have the Starlink and perhaps a few other services behind a firewall. You have these networks, and what I'm going to show off is what happens when you put the Dualog Quota management in the crew network, and you manage the crew usage without touching the business or the critical server networks altogether. I guess I could mention that you need some software to run this, and very often this software would be running virtually somewhere in this server network, but that's more of a technical thing that we can discuss later. So you have this Dualog Quota management. We need a bit more of this scenario. So I'm taking a Starlink 1 terabyte package. That's sort of the scenario that I would like to demonstrate. I'm going to assume there's about 20 crew members, and split the usage between Starlink, between crew and business, 80-20. I mean, if you go 60-40 or 70-30, that's up to your business needs, obviously. But if you split 80-20, the calculation becomes straightforward. 800 gigabytes by 20 crew, and we recommend using weekly quotas for this because then the dates when the Starlink periods start and end doesn't matter that much. So if you divide that by 4 weeks, you end up with, in this example, a quota of 10 gigabytes per week for crew usage. So I'm going to jump over and share my screen.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Vidar. Let's get a little bit practical here. It all looks great on slides, but I think it's good to also show what it really looks like really on our portal, how easy it is to set up a quota policy for a ship, and then maybe we can show a little bit how it actually works on board a ship, both from a PC and possibly from a cell phone.
Yes. Let's start with the Dualog portal. You should see my Dualog portal here, and I'll log in here with my user, and I'm going to set up quota because it's quite straightforward. There's you need to have some network settings configured with some IP addresses and things, but I'll just jump straight into the quota configuration. And when I'm setting up the quota, the only thing that I need to do is go in and decide how much should I give to how much quota should I give. So I'll do that by adding, we call it a price list in the service. In this view, you have some options. You can choose what currency you want to use in case you use slop chest or top-ups. But I'll just go straight to this price list and add a price. So we agreed on 10 gigabytes. These numbers are in megabytes, so it will be about this much. I'll choose a weekly quota, and I will allow the crew to top up their accounts using the cost price of Starlink, $2.5 a gig. And I will decide who this quota should apply to. So I'll just say that for every ship with the Starlink, any ship with the Starlink carrier, this quota should apply. I give this a useful name. And with that price list in place, I have my quota configuration. You can also set up a time quota. We'll allow the crew 240 minutes a day, and officers as much as they want, and turn on the quota for what we call the roaming users. Those are the ones that log in on the ship. So that's all that's needed for configuring the quota. And I'll now skip to a virtual computer sitting out there in my quota network.
All right. If there is any questions along the way, please feel free to start typing in the chat. We will shortly start the Q&A after this demo.
So this is my crew computer on my ship. It's connected to that Wi-Fi, that the crew network. And when I want to use the internet, I have put in the Dualog homepage as a starting page, but I could also go to, say, bbc.com or something like that and get a captive portal up and running to log in. I'll log in here with my saved username and password. John Adams, my favorite user. I'm signing in here, and I get this nice overview of my situation and my personal quota for the crew. So it says that I have 4 days left of my quota period. I have 9.8 gigs left, 4 hours remaining time today, and I even have $500 on my account. I'm rich, and you can use that to get 200 more gigabytes of data. So when I want to start using my internet, I can just click this Go Online button, and I'm now online on this computer. I can go to my favorite website or use whatever applications I would like. Now this computer has full internet access associated with my user. And when I'm done, if I don't want to leave it online, I can go and disconnect my internet connection, and I will stop my usage on my computer. Now we know that not everyone has a computer in their crew network. A lot of people actually use cell phones and iPads and things like that instead. Most, perhaps. So I have. Let's see if I can get up the little video. There we go. There we go. So I couldn't get the screen sharing to work on my phone, so I captured this screen recording yesterday. It's from my phone. It's connected to the same quota network. I've installed the Crew Connection app, Dualog's own app on the phone, and I have Chrome, and I'm going to try to browse the internet. So if I just go to Chrome, I don't have an internet connection. I'm not getting anywhere. It just says that Android detects that I don't have any connection at all. So to fix that, I'll jump into the Crew Connection app. I'll sign in with my user, John Adams. Sign in here, and I get kind of the same information that I did on the desktop. I get the fact that I'm active on Starlink. I have my balance. I have my remaining time, weekly free quota, and how much quota I've spent already of my quota. And if I want to use internet, I just slide this slider at the top all the way here. So you can just jump back to my Chrome. That will automatically detect that, oh, now internet is available, and I can finally read all about the Dualog services on my cell phone as well. I can even slide down and get this handy little overview that's always visible, so I can always get back to the Crew Connection app from my phone. And when I'm done, to save my time and megabytes, I can go in here and just deactivate the internet connection. So using this simple approach, we can ensure that we don't exceed those 800 gigabytes that we have assigned to the crew network, Andrea.